Two fools who laugh at death. Do you know what horrors lie beyond that wall?
No.
Then you go first.
Trap squad, 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 trap squad. Hey, Clickbaity Political, yeah. Thirst Trap, Trap Squad, Squirrel Squad. Our mission is critical to speak the truth to the masses. Yeah. We here for the fight. We ain't started, but we here to finish it. Sick and tired of seeing the privilege, take advantage of the weak and the innocent. So we let our voice be heard every single weeknight. Unapologetic. Yeah. Black people, despite this white supremacist system that we live through on a daily, we still throwing up those acorns cause we represent clickbaity. Yeah. Trap squad, trap squad, trap squad. Let me hear ya. Trap squad, trap squad. Throw those squirrels up if you with it. Trap squad, trap squad. Yeah, I see you, yeah, I see you. Trap squad, trap squad. Clickbaity ThirstTrap. Trap squad, trap squad. Trap squad. Let me hear ya. Trap squad, trap squad. Throw those squirrels up if you with it. Trap squad, trap squad. Yeah, I see you, yeah, I see you, yeah, I see you, I see you. Clickbaity ThirstTrap. ThirstTrap.
Trap Squad. Trap Squad.
It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine.
Word Up magazine.
Salt and pepper, heavy D off in the limousine.
On the
Paint
limousine.
pictures on my wall.
Rapper Tap, Mr. Magic Mall.
Yo. Welcome to another episode,
Yeah, it is.
Tuesday night episode of Clickbaity Political ThirstTrap. I am one half of your dope ass host, Marcus Farrell, going all the way live on the anniversary of the assassination of the notorious B.I.G. The notorious B.I.G. Shout out to Biggie. Got my Funko Pop going, and I'm all the way live with my dog, Mondale Robinson, all the way live on the hookah. Y'all already know, Mondale, what's happening?
What up, though? You know what it is. Rest in peace, Biggie Smalls, man. This guy was 24 when they took his life. That brother's legacy, though, is going to be 3,000 years old before they forget about him. Jesus Christ, man. Biggie motherfucking Smalls.
I let my tape rock till my tape pop, smoking weed and bamboo, sipping on private stock.
Way back when I had the red and black
lumberjack with the hat
to match.
Who else giving you politics and Biggie at the same time? Well, I mean, it's been done before, but not like us, because we ain't neoliberals. That simple.
What up?
So I mean, first, let me just go ahead and get into Biggie real quick. Like, when I heard Biggie for the first time, first off, you know, I'm gonna age myself, but 1992 to 1997 for me was just like the renaissance of hip hop, and it changed from like dippy, dappy, dappy, doopy to brothers telling like stories. And I mean, if you think about all the music, if you think about all the music that came out from like, and if you're younger, you weren't born yet, just do yourself a favor and just go look at like the most classic hip hop songs that came out. And from 92 to 97, it was just nonstop revolutionary hip hop that just kept coming on board every single doggone day. I mean, I'm gonna think about the artists that came out during this time period. You got Jay-Z, you got Biggie, you got, you know, well, Tupac came out earlier than that, but his best albums was out. You had the Wu-Tang
Snoop.
Clan. You had Snoop. You had one of the best albums from Dre ever. Like, it was a time, you know. I mean, and I'm not knocking hip hop now, because to be honest with you, I love that ratchet shit that's going on right now. But let me tell you something.
Yeah, but lyrically wise, what's going on right now shouldn't even be called hip hop. It should be its own genre, really, because it ain't what man. Fucking Biggie was saying.
Man, listen, it's not. But here's the thing, though. Like, I'm not gonna age myself out of this one right here. I had to actually like stop and listen to some of these cats' lyrics. Right. First off, okay, they ain't Biggie, they ain't Jay-Z, but R.I.P. to King Von. King Von was dropping some lyrics in his music, man. And if you think that the baby ain't, the baby ain't doing something, I mean, like. I know we talked about it before, and it's not the same. It's just not the same music, but I do think it is I don't want to say an evolution of hip hop. I want to say it's a divergence of hip hop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Marcus, let's be serious. I mean, listen, we can't say what has happened to hip hop is progress. We just can't. I mean, this is no diss to what the kids got going on right now. It's just not. The golden age of J-pop, I don't care what anybody says. After Big Daddy Kane, it was Big Daddy Kane popping, and then Biggie just took on the scene, and he just had a whole different rhythm to the way he was spitting, man. I mean, we gotta own that.
No, I'm gonna own that, but I gotta tell you something about today's hip hop. Like, it was a couple of cats, like Biggie. Okay, listen, if you listen to Biggie was spitting game on the microphone, right? And you gotta respect game. But on the same token, I don't know what came first, the chicken or the egg. You really don't need game these days if you're a young person trying to acquire the opposite sex. It's basically, I got drugs. You want to do something with me? Let's have sex. That's what they do now. And the music matches that. So what's the point of me knocking them for just reflecting what the hell is going on in these streets right now?
I think the difference, though, is you're absolutely right. It's reflecting what was going on in the street. But Biggie was like the iPhone. He took away.
But that's hip hop, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying, listen, Biggie realized Biggie was the iPhone in that he gave us a phone without buttons. He gave us music that was a picture. Biggie gave us an album that was a movie. Every time he dropped an album, it was twice. But those two movies that we got from that brother, and that's why his legacy is so wrong. I mean, so long. And I think the difference is the longevity of the music. I can't tell you one of these songs that's going to be around.
I mean, are we talking about
now.
rap now, or are we talking about specific artists and types? Because I'll be damned if To Pimp a Butterfly won't be around forever.
Yeah, To Pimp a Butterfly. Yeah, listen, Kendrick Lamar is hip hop, and as problematic as I think he's dope as shit with his lyrics. The same is true for J. Cole. But the fact that we can name 2 or 3 people where we had crews that were amazing, entire crews of rappers that were just amazing. Like every neighborhood. I mean, think about what was going on in Atlanta at that time. That music ain't gonna get old. Goody Mob first album ain't going nowhere. It was a cell therapy. That shit ain't going nowhere, bro.
Yeah, good. Man, the whole Dungeon family was stupid, dog. The whole Dungeon family was stupid. Yeah, the whole Dungeon family was amazing. Wu-Tang Clan, of course, was amazing. What is it? Souls of Mischief, dog. They were amazing. I mean, the thing was at that time, everybody wanted to be original. Nobody wanted to sound like anybody. But right now, I mean, majority of the rappers sound the same. They got the and you can take the out and put the words in it, and it's a fucking song nowadays. I really stole a car. Yeah, but you know what 21 say?
Put my money in the jar.
What Savage say? 21. I don't care how bitty it is. That 21. That shit hard. That shit hitting. 21.
I mean, it's catchy. It sure is catchy.
You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Like, listen. I mean, here's
Marcus,
the thing.
I haven't sat down and listened to it.
They making music. It just might not be. See, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like we not looking at it from the eyes of somebody who out here in these streets these days, because it's a completely different game, right? Like, I think you're absolutely. Listen, I think you're absolutely right. And for me, I'm offering an old head perspective on what I feel about the music right now. I'm not connected to it. I don't understand. First of all, I don't understand half the challenges going on. These little duck dances these people doing. That shit is weird 21. To me. I can't get it. I don't get it. I'm lost. Like, so, jumping out the car, dancing beside the car and shit. I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. So, I'm just, this guy's doing the damn thing. You wildin'. Hey, I'm wildin', but listen, bro. I live in Atlanta, right? And like back in the day, you had to have a spot where you sold weed at, right? And you really didn't just walk around with weed. Now, understand something. There's also a difference in law, right? Like, if you get caught with a certain amount of cannabis in Atlanta, Georgia now, you're not going to go to jail. You're just going to get a ticket, right? But, like, these guys, they flash their bags around, right? Like, they'll have a Louis bag full of cannabis, and they'll call it, I got that Louis, right? And the shit be, garbage. But I mean, it's something to be said about just the whole vibe. I mean, don't forget this culture brought back the tight pants, and now you can see sagging tight pants, which I always thought was an oxymoron in itself, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. It's just old. We just old heads talking shit, y'all. Don't get offended if your favorite rapper was born in '96. Okay.
That's right. So shout out to the Trap Squad. Y'all came out with a couple of others that we mentioned. We didn't mention Tribe Called Quest, PE, the Native Tongues, their whole movement, and I believe the Neo Soul movement started. What I'm missing, Dwayne?
Oh my God! Listen.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure. Cannabis. I mean, come on, man. It was so many amazing rappers in our era. It's just completely different, bro. That's all I'm saying. Now,
it is.
Now, what we're saying is, rest in peace, Biggie Smalls. Your legacy lives on, brother. You were popping for a short period of time, but your legacy is international, and we love you for it.
Yeah, I know this. No matter what you think about good hip hop and bad hip hop, without Biggie, y'all wouldn't have none of this shit that y'all got going on right now, and that's real.
Point blank period. Point blank period. And I think part of it was people. I think part of it was Biggie's music appetite was not hip hop. Biggie's music appetite was country music, which he said he couldn't go to sleep without. Jamaican music. His uncle was a DJ, and a lot of other shit like soul. So and all of that had an influence on how he was doing. I mean, I watched this documentary last night and learned that this brother was actually go to a jazz club and rap his music over jazz and like a live jazz band. So, learning how to rap to a tempo like that the bebop of a drum, the jazz drum, was something completely different than what we got right now. We got a drum machine. People are famous and don't even know anything about music, or don't even know anything about Biggie Smalls for that matter. Famous in his genre. So that is, I mean, just that lack of education as it pertains to what hip hop was, where it came from, and the purpose of protest music is something serious. Speaking of protest music, we skipped a motherfucking topic last night that we need to talk about.
Yeah, well, hold on, and I'm gonna bring it right back to you. Peter Griffin, shout out to you. You just grounded me real quick, brother. You just grounded me. 8 Ball and MJG, UGK. Sorry about that. Didn't say them either. Should have said them. Want to make sure they get said.
Scarface.
Yeah.
Master P.
Thank you, P.
The whole,
yeah.
Listen.
Master P.
Master P.
Yeah.
Mystical pre-jail.
Yeah, Mystical pre-jail.
Mama Mia.
JT Money.
JT Money. Tila.
Come on, man. Talking about Trick Daddy. You don't know now.
Trick Daddy.
You don't know. You don't know Nam, nigga. Pastor Troy.
If good was evil.
What if heaven was hell and vice versa? Yeah. Go ahead, Mondale, man. You got some other topics that besides hip hop.
It's time to get in. We came for politics, yo. We love hip hop for sure, and it's definitely part of our show. It's our swagger. It's our genre of choice. But listen, we are political creatures, brother, and we got to be honest and critical of society. And right now, this moment requires us to do such a thing, because I know poor people that are suffering as couples. And we're not talking about them living in poverty. We're not talking about them not able to feed their kids. What we're talking about is the fucking discrimination against Prince and Duchess. Like, why the fuck are we talking about the royalty like they didn't rob Africa for hundreds of millions or 20 or 30 millions of black people, like it depends on who you ask. Not to mention how much exploitation and colonization happened around the world because of this one fucking family. And we're up here acting as if they deserve our time and energy. We're talking about the discrimination that Meghan Markle faced in the royal fucking palace. And ain't nobody, if we could get this much energy for $15 an hour, if we can get Oprah to do a fucking sit down with a restaurant worker, if we can get Oprah to sit down with a homeless person to live at the bottom of a tall tower in Atlanta where billionaires and millionaires live, what kind of fucking attention, what kind of gasping would people do? People worried that somebody white is concerned that their child may be dark skinned.
21.
We are fucked up in this world right now, man. That's why I tell people, y'all, this is blinding. This is numbing of what's really happening in the world. And it's dangerous because it requires people to forget that we're living in a triple pandemic if you are a black person. The pandemic of white supremacy, the pandemic of over-policing, and the pandemic we call COVID. But yet and still, we want to talk about Meghan motherfucking Markle, who is a fucking actress rich in herself, and then a prince that she's married to. Are you kidding me? This is how we get people to talk about discrimination? This is the basis for the conversation of discrimination? A royal couple? I'm disgusted by this shit, bro. And I don't give a fuck who's offended.
Well, first, I completely agree with your sentiments, Mondale. But I'm a drama junkie a little bit, man. And no, this is not how this conversation is supposed to start. I mean, what else do we expect from the descendants of the same family, literally the same family that, created colonization with brown people across the earth, the whole earth. You remember how they used to brag about there was no sun setting on the English crown, or
the
whatever?
British Empire, right?
Yeah, British Empire. So that means the whole earth was colonized. All the brown people were colonized by England at some point, and we expect something less from them. They made a statement saying that they were concerned that their grandchild would be too dark, and you know what? I said this on Facebook. Well, I'm concerned with how light skinned they might be. How about that? Because that's what.
Let's keep it a mark. Let's keep it a buck. That child will never look like a black child, right? That child will never be stereotyped or harassed like what's going on with Lil Bobo and Pookie and them.
Yeah,
and for us to focus on, and for us to grab our proverbial pearls, about a royal grandchild, people can go to hell with that shit, man.
Mondale,
I'm just saying.
They are talking about they're talking about Meghan Markle's daughter or son, and if you think about it, the whole country is started by a black woman. Whole country, go look it up. Britain's first queen was a black woman.
So
we've been passing for years, bro.
I mean, but here's what disgusts me, because people forgot, Marcus. We did this on Clickbaity almost a year ago when when we was arguing about Oprah and Charles Barkley and that interview she did with Charles Barkley and Michael Jordan when Jordan launched his clothing line, and they were Charles Barkley was talking about how cheap Jordan was, and then they started to make jokes about poor people standing outside of restaurants asking them for money. And Oprah's response, first Charles Barkley said Michael Jordan told him, don't give them money because it makes them lazy. Now we're talking about a motherfucker who is super rich from playing fucking basketball, talking about let people starve because it makes them lazy because they asked them for $10 or $5. Even if they ask him for 100. And then Oprah's response is what's disgusting in this context to me. Oprah's response was, yeah, I never give them money because I feel the same way. It'll make them lazy.
Yeah, first.
And now she's doing this fucking interview where she's doing this fucking interview. I'm sorry, Marcus. This shit got me fucking heated, bro. She's doing a fucking interview with the kid. He said, don't be heated.
Don't be heated, bro. No, for real. Here's why you don't be heated, man, because you know what? People are going to do what they got to do to exploit a situation, bro. Like, that's just what they do. Oprah's not different. But on the same token, like, the conversation fucking happened. Ain't no reason for me to fucking cry over spilled milk. You know what I mean? Now that the conversation
That's not regular
happened,
milk. That's royal milk.
Well,
that's almond milk. That's simply that's almond milk.
The cow with the golden teat.
Yes. It's a happy cow milk. Fuck out of here.
That it's organic. I live in a gentrified neighborhood. It's organic. They roam pastures free. Listen, Oprah had the conversation, and I think it was a good conversation because we found out, no matter if you cared about the conversation or not, you found out about the royal family, which by the way is still head of states. Except in Barbados, I believe Barbados just said, "Nah, y'all got to get out of here." But
yeah, Barbados said that they gonna cancel that shit. The Queen is no longer the head of their state.
Right. So, but the conversation happened, right? And it's always interesting to hear about the royal family, even if you don't give a fuck about them. My thing is like, when you interject even a little bit of black in it, it becomes a thing. And one thing that I will say is that I'm not gonna take this away from people. There's a lot of black people in England who are happy as fuck about Meghan Markle. There's a lot of black people who look up to her. It is what it is. I'm not going to deny that. And the reaction that Piers Morgan had this morning, was it this morning or was it yesterday morning? I think it was yesterday morning. The reaction that he had
was beautiful.
Well, that's why I like fuckery like this happening. That's why I like nonsense like this happening. That's why I do like a little bit of drama, because drama can expose other drama real quick. And any drama dealing with a black person and white people always exposes racism. And Dwayne, do we have that clip of the sister? We got to show that clip.
Oh no. Oh, do we have the clip of the brother reading Piers Morgan? Yeah.
Let's run that clip real quick.
And I understand that you don't like Meghan Markle. You've made it so clear a number of times on this program, a number of times.
No, let's
understand that you've got a personal relationship with Meghan Markle, or had one, and she cut you off. She's entitled to cut you off if she wants to. Has she said anything about you since she cut you off? I don't think she has, but yet you continue to trash her.
Okay, I'm done with this.
No.
Sorry, no. Sorry.
So, do you know what? That's pathetic.
You can trash him, maybe not mine.
No.
See you later.
I'm being...
Sorry, can't do this.
Absolutely diabolical behaviour. I'm sorry, but Piers spouts off on a regular basis, and we all have to sit there and listen. 6:30 to 7 o'clock yesterday was incredibly hard to watch.
Ben, thank you very much. Look, on your second.
Your second.
Hey, listen.
Your second.
I'm gonna take my ball and how you the head anchor and you gonna take off? See, here's my thing.
Not even that. He was
He didn't prepare. He didn't prepare for his own white supremacy in his head, right? And like he didn't. He just didn't prepare for his own white supremacy. Like at least if you're gonna be in front of millions of people with a clip that could possibly go, you know, at this point it's probably billions of people who are actually know about this story, right? If you're gonna go in front of that many people, folk, then get your white supremacy talking points together, right?
Nope, I'm going. I'm leaving. Nope, I'm leaving.
No, yeah, he took off like, I'm gonna take my ball, I'm going home, and y'all can't play no more. And bro was like, guess what? We're gonna play imaginary basketball without your ass. So
guess
anyway,
what? He took his ball and went home, but he can't come back. Motherfucker jobless now. So that's a good thing for us. Plus, I mean, like, let's be honest. This guy is a Trump supporter who's been spouting bullshit about black people. This is what I'm trying to tell people. Like, the fact that he kept his job when he was saying some racist shit the entire 2020 is disgusting in itself, right? But it took him saying something about a fucking royal family member before he got kicked off, and it's just disgusting. And Marcus, I hear you saying that there's black people that are happy about Meghan in England, and I bet you're absolutely right, 100%. But I bet you more black people would be happy if they receive reparations from what fucking Crown
we
did
didn't
to them.
get it. Come on, Mondale. You know we didn't get into that, man. Like I'm not. First off, okay, let's separate church and state. Hot English proposition. I
like that. I like that. That was a good one.
Let's separate church and state. First off, that royal monarchy has been owed so much to black people. Matter of fact, and this is like one of these ADOS conversations. England owes black Americans reparations also, but we're not gonna go there.
And Jamaicans and some in South America.
South Africa. Well, we could just
all of Africa. Not all of it, because France.
Like England,
but a lot of
England was like, let's take your book and put it on Amazon. England was like, you're real good now.
And make me the author. And make me the author.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah, man. So I'm just over this shit. It's all over the internet.
Here's the thing. The way that the brother broke it down, though, this is why this is important. I believe this is important. Like, even though it's a symbolism of a English monarchy who is completely full of shit and did all these atrocities in the past, I want to look at it from a right now situation. I want to look at it from okay, I'm just somebody who likes to watch MTV. Ooh, the royal family. Let me see what's going on. And then they're not used to seeing any effective racism. The only thing most Americans have seen so far is, man, people are really mad about that black guy dying up north. They don't get. Meghan did show systemic racism, and the way that brother just called it out, like, you even did it yourself. When she got married, you were talking trash. And by the way, that marriage, that marriage, how he made a name off of himself off of that. He already had a name, but he made a big name off of himself just because a black American preacher came over there and they thought it was some kind of ghetto service. While we consider black preachers in America damn near royalty. It shows for the black community, right? And it just shows the hypocrisy that happens and how this pomp and circumstance and bad teeth, white folks who are a part of that fucking monarchy over there get to do whatever they want to. Oh, girl.
They all look like characters from Harry Potter.
Bro, be careful some tea and crumpets. You bloody wanker. They don't even say wanker.
What else is popping? What else? Well, he said wanker. What else is popping in the news, bro? I'm done with them.
Oh, you got the Meghan McClain clip? Yeah, please.
Oh, please.
Watch closely.
The American experiment is the way to go. And if we have two American women, Meghan Markle and Oprah Winfrey, who are single-handedly finishing what George Washington and our revolutionary counterparts did, I'm all for it.
Okay.
I'm Oprah. listen. I'm
The
I'm
American
Whoopi Goldberg in this
experiment is the
moment.
way to go. And if we have two American women, Meghan Markle and Oprah Winfrey, who are single-handedly finishing what George Washington and our revolutionary counterparts did, I'm all for it.
Okay.
Yo.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you right. That moment is fucking golden. Did you see who came to her defense? Ronald Reagan's daughter. And you know you're in a bad space when Ronald Reagan's daughter's defending you. Like, you are bad when you're defending Ronald Reagan. Your dad sold guns for coke. Your dad flooded the hood with crack.
Could we just pause Whoopi Goldberg's face real quick? Could we just? Is there a way we could get to there and just pause her face? I just want to put her face up there. Let's record that.
The
part.
American
That's a new
experiment
win.
is the way to go. And if we have two American women, Meghan Markle and Oprah Winfrey, who are single-handedly finishing what George Washington and our revolutionary counterparts did, I'm all for it.
She thought, when she was rehearsing it in her mirror in the green room. Look, when she was rehearsing that in the mirror in her green room, she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm about to be trending on Black Twitter for the right thing." She didn't know how stupid she sounded.
Listen, man, Meghan McCain only makes me think of John McCain, who at this point only makes me think of Kirsten Sinema. You see how that works?
Oh wow!
You see how that works? When I see Meghan McCain, there's a straight arrow almost to Kirsten Sinema. And at this point, I think Kirsten deserves all the fire possible from the Clickbaity Political ThirstTrap crew, a record label, and hanging out. And if you're down with Kirsten Sinema, fuck you too.
Basically,
yeah.
Listen, and any Democrats that support, or any institution, the Democratic Party, any of its auxiliaries, any of them that support Sinema right now, or Manchin, I'm like, fuck y'all, because those two Democrats are the problem with what's going on. It's going to make it extremely hard to turn out Black voters in Georgia or the rest of this country like we did in 2020, because the response is, fuck out of here, I'm gonna go vote again so you can let Joe Manchin from West Virginia and Kirsten Sinema from fucking Arizona control our vote, our lives, really, our lives, and what services we receive from the federal government that we pay so much for. Fuck out of here. I think this is the perversion of the Democratic Party and that big tent idea. The big tent idea was to bring more people in to protect more people from the failures of our government. This big tent that we are playing in right now is perverted and disgusting, bro. Fuck.
I'm telling you, man.
Sinema.
I'm telling you, like, after Rep 1, I think that the next bill should be, and you saw this on my Facebook page earlier, the next bill should be a bill that ties the minimum wage to congressional salaries. And also at the same time, in that bill, if you tie congressional wages to the minimum congressional wage to the minimum wage, and then you get money out of politics, and then you have like a 3 to 5 year period where you have to show your taxes after or before office, where if you've received the X amount of dollars from a certain company, then you can't be in anymore. I know it's unconstitutional, but these niggas change the Constitution all the time. I think that is the way that we fix all of it. Like,
I'm telling you,
reparations.
listen, I feel like all of their fees in DC should be paid, and they should make minimum wage. Straight like
That's
that.
it. But somebody pushed back on me and they said, well, yo, if you do that right there, then that means that only rich people will be able to run for office because they're the only ones who can afford it. Well,
not if you have publicly funded not if you have publicly funded elections.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not if you have publicly funded elections.
Yeah. I mean,
we put ourselves in these walls, Marcus. We put ourselves in these walls where we can only see what they're presenting to us. Fuck that. Look past that shit. We can run elections without billions of dollars. You don't have to spend $800 million for an 8-week fucking runoff in Georgia. Take the money out of politics and let it happen.
And neoliberals did that. Neoliberals produced the amount of money that came to Georgia. And I mean, I know we haven't talked about our dear neoliberals, but our dear neoliberal brethren, our dear moderate brothers and sisters in the state of Nevada got their ass.
Oh my God.
They got their ass handed to them. And I'm not even,
bro, this is that Nevada is not a bastion of progressive ideas. So the fact that the socialists won the entire fucking party says one thing, bro. Progressive ideas are organizing and, well, two things then. Organizing and progressive ideas are the way of the land. Our populace is more progressive than the elected officials that they represent them. And to see the Democratic Party allow these people to move $450,000 out of the coffer of the state party before they leave office is absolutely disgusting. And that money from the senatorial campaign should go back to the fucking state party.
Mondale, listen, if you and I took over somebody's party, if we took over a campaign, if we took over anything and moved 400, what was 4 million? How much was $400,000? $400,000.
450,000.
Yeah, if we moved that kind of money.
Not to mention they also wrote these big ass service packages for all of them. All of the employees quit with these massive service policies. That's money you stole from services that the voters could receive.
If you moved it to another entity, we wouldn't be allowed to work again. But for the sheer fact that, so first off, shout out to the Bernie Sanders organizing machine. Yes, I will give them props on this one. And the reason why is because they've been working this since Bernie 2016. I know all the players in Nevada.
Let's just say it. Bernie Sanders won Nevada again.
Yeah, that's right. Bernie Sanders won Nevada, what, for the third time? Second time?
Yeah.
Right, for the second time. And I mean, so for those of you who don't know what happened, let me read this article. I'm gonna pull it up real quick. But basically, move, intercept, not long after Judith Whitmer this is from the Intercept. Not long after Judith Whitmer won her election on Saturday to become the chair of the Nevada Democratic Party, she got an email from the party's executive director, Alana Mounts. The message from Mounts began with a note of congratulations before getting to her main point. She was quitting. So was every other employee.
Everybody else. With the massive service policy.
Now, first off, she was quitting. So was every other employee. And so were all the consultants. Now, let me tell you something, America, before I continue this paragraph. That's a dream world to me.
For every progressive, that is like heaven.
Yeah, you mean you're going to open up jobs? Which are going to start a new party? Now, Sister Mount has since went on to become the political director for the DNC. So, the DNC watches us all the time. So, Sister Mounts, we understand what you did, but we don't understand what you did. And the staff will be taking severance checks with them. Thank you very much. So on March 6th, a coalition of progressive candidates backed by a local chapter of Democratic Socialists of America took over the leadership of the Nevada Democratic Party, sweeping all 5 party leadership positions in the contested election that evening. Whitmer, who had been the chair of the Clark County Democratic Party, was elected chair. The establishment had prepared for the loss, having recently moved $450,000 out of the party's coffers and into the the DSCC, Democratic Senatorial Campaign Committee's account. The DSCC will put that money towards the 22 re-election bid of Senator Catherine Cortez Masto, a vulnerable first-time Democrat. While Whitmer's opponent,
this whole situation is pasty.
Oh, we got to keep reading this one because this means a lot. Like, this organizing means a lot. While Whitmer's opponents say she's planning to fire them anyway, Whitmer denies the claim. I've been putting in the work, Whitmer told the Intercept for the latest episode of Deconstructed. What they just didn't expect was we got better and better at organizing and out-organizing them at every single turn. Guys, Clickbaity Political ThirstTrap, Trap Squad.
Tanya and Scott Allen, thank you so much for the $108. We appreciate that.
Oh, Tanya, yes. Thank you.
We appreciate that.
Yeah,
Tanya and Scott Allen. Thank y'all so much.
Is that how we say it? It looks like it says Taha. Teja.
No, but
got it.
Yeah.
This is important, Trap Squad. Organizing means everything. And the one thing you could take from these two brothers you are watching right now, all the way live, that come to you every weeknight from 8:30 to 10 o'clock, except on Fridays, and 7:30 to 9 o'clock. One thing you can take from us is we are organizers first. This hits my heart. Because at some point, the Democratic Socialists in the state of Nevada were just like, okay, you know what? Because they felt like Bernie got screwed in 2016. I was there. I was in Las Vegas. I was there the night that the election happened. I was there. And they felt like they got screwed. Statewide.
Right.
And what we do is we complain and we can bitch and we can moan and we can do all these things except get our ass to work. But Nevada did that. Nevada got to work, right?
But you know what this is? This is proof positive that the party is some shit. With all of the money that they had enough money to spend $450,000 or steal $450,000, because that's definitely thievery. They stole $450,000 and they still couldn't defeat 5 Democratic Socialist candidates for statewide elections. I'm telling people right now, we are not in the same fucking political space we've been in. And if you are an incumbent, you should be shitting your britches right at this moment because you see what's fucking happening.
Wait a minute. Look at the screen. Look at the screen.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I fucking love it.
Yo. But you know what that means? A couple of things, folks. That means that now is a good time to donate to the Nevada Democratic Party.
Yeah. You know, and Marcus, you know what else should happen? On some real shit, they should ban those people from politics. Like the Democratic Party say, if you challenge if you're a consultant who challenges an incumbent, you can't work with them. They should cut these motherfuckers out of Nevada politics forever. If you're one of those staff members that quit, you will never get a job in this state again.
I guess my question, and they talked about this in the article. They said, were they willing to work with the new Democratic Party, and was the new chair willing to work with the other staffers? And they didn't even give her a chance. They just quit
at all.
Right?
Like, they took a massive severance package, man. This is bad capitalism in our politics, bro. And if we don't call it out what it is, then we're letting that shit slide. This is capitalism and what's wrong with it. She basically bought her a position in the Democratic Party. They had to know she was moving that $450,000 to the senatorial committee. And when they did, and when she said, "I'll do this," they said, "Well, we got this position for you."
And you know what? That ain't even a lot of money. That ain't even a lot of money, bro. That was just show of loyalty.
For a Senate race in Nevada? That's a lot of money, bro.
Oh, is it?
I mean, $450,000. You can't even sleep on what it means.
I guess what I'm saying.
That's a serious head start. That's a serious head start.
Bro, you talking to my bougie ass in Georgia where we just got like 800 million. So I'm kind of like
for 8 weeks. Yeah, for 8 weeks. But taking 400, think about this. Think about what on the Obama's administration, how poor the state parties were. All of the state parties were poor because OFA took over all of the parties and all the money was being funneled through him. So this is a real situation, bro. Like, we talk about state parties. When people talk about national organizations robbing state parties, this is a fucking example of it. How do you care about the services or what you provide the people in your states if you send all that money to fucking DC? If you really want to win, if you really want that candidate to win, you'd have left that money in Nevada so they can organize like they did to defeat your ass.
Right. I'm going to be very interested from now on. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if some kind of emergency legislation, Jamie, don't do this. I would be surprised if some kind of emergency like rule happens in the DNC where it's like Nevada is no longer number 2.
Hey, you still live with infinite content. Put it back up there. Infinite content. I see all your words, but all it says to me is Django, 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 Django.
Jangling, 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 jangling.
No, Django. Like, I'm thinking about his words make me think about Django. Django when he was.
Oh yeah. Oh hell yeah. Hell yeah. In a blue suit. Who is this nigga on this nag?
No, who that nigga on the nag?
Who is this nigga on this nag? God damn, Samuel L. Jackson is a great actor, man.
Man, he played Coons too well, man.
I mean, but he also played badass motherfuckers well too. Come on, man.
Did you see him in Black Snake Moan?
Yeah, you goddamn right. I saw him in Black Snake. I don't think that was first off, you know Samuel Jackson is movie. He's like number 9 or 8 on the list of all-time movies ever made. Like,
I believe that.
Like
I bet right in front of him is Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman's up there. I don't know. We need to bring up the top 10 list. We need to bring the top 10 list up.
Them the two oldest. Them the two oldest actors in the world. The motherfuckers was born old.
Yeah, I mean, who else is on that list? There's some people that there's some people that are like have been in every single goddamn movie, and you're like, wait, what? That's the same guy? Like they've been in movies in the 80s and movies like last year. Some of these casts don't die, man. They just keep making movies. You know what I'm talking about? So, find that. Hey, yeah, if you find that list for us, Dwayne, that'll be dope, man.
So, are we switching to other news, or are we staying here for?
Yeah, well, I kind of sort of want to talk about Georgia. The whole
you want to talk about
way
Georgia?
Through.
Go ahead, Marcus.
The whole way, like an old sweet song. All right, I'll stop.
How B? How B? This is my house, B.
Let me see your wrist. Let me see your wrist.
Damn.
Hey, listen, they're trying to fuck us over in Georgia, y'all.
No, they well on the way, man. They're well on the way.
Well, so here's the thing. This is why. Here's how interstate politics work. Not national politics, interstate politics. Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin have the power to destroy the Republican legislature here in the state of Georgia by helping pass the John Lewis Voting Rights Act.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
But these guys are so playing so many games about themselves, and Kyrsten Sinema actually served with John. Both of these people served with John Lewis, that they might not give a fuck. But anyway, let's just get to it. So today and yesterday, the Republican legislature of Georgia has gone out of its way to make sure that no excuse voting goes away. They've gotten. Go ahead, Mondale.
I mean, we need to be clear, man, that people need to understand that some people are going to say, well, Republicans vote by absentee too. Absolutely. But the reason they lost election in Georgia is because a massive number of black and brown people who took part, Democratic voters who took part in voting absentee. This was no problem ever when Republicans were the only party using absentee voting. No one ever complained about it. But when they found out that more people would have access to it and use this as a tool to vote without standing in hour-long lines, they felt like it was their job to eliminate this process, this institution of voting, which is not a new institution. People believe that absentee ballot or absentee voting just started. This shit is as old as the fucking Civil War, my friend. Marcus, as old as the fucking Civil War is when the first absentee ballot was cast. So the fact that they're sitting here trying to destroy this institution because they can no longer win elections fairly, they said, fuck it, we're just gonna be blatant with it. I think Georgia has 11 of the 235 in the 43 states that have passed or are debating bills right now to restrict people access to the ballot. And the fact that we're sitting quiet, or the fact that we're talking about an Oprah fucking interview with Meghan Markle, is absolutely disgusting.
I got you. I'm a little offended for another reason. Bro, I'm just getting tired of being slapped in the face after I did some personal work for some shit. I can't front. I'm just tired of getting slapped in the face. You know, help with turnout in Arizona, and Kyrsten Sinema ends up being voting against $15 an hour minimum wage. That shit was on my list. Register a whole bunch of people in the state of Georgia to vote, and the Republican Party decides that, well, you know what, we're gonna make it hard. I mean, how the hell you get rid of souls to the polls? Like, I know white churches that do souls to the polls. I know white Republican churches that do souls to the polls.
Just not as many as the black churches. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they playing a net sum game over this motherfucker, or a zero sum game. They don't listen. It's never been about Republican voters anyway. It's all about them maintaining power at any cost, at the expense of, at any fucking expense, really. And the tragedy is, here's the tragedy. Republicans aren't upset about this. The voters I'm talking about, not the elected officials. The fucking voters aren't upset that they're restricting people's right and access to the ballot. So all of these people that claim they love this country and they love the Constitution and they love all the freedoms that come along with it. What Megan just said, this continuation of what George Washington did with the revolution, how the fuck you not screaming about what Republicans are doing are taking us back 100+ years to when we didn't even have the fucking
100+ years. Repeat that part again. Like,
I mean, it's true, man. I mean, think about, if we consider when the Civil War was fought, and then that's when the fucking absentee ballot was introduced, then what the fuck are we doing?
I hope Kirsten sent him a Kurt so he'll motherfucking ass on the yes vote on this shit.
I wish them fucking boots would have slipped from under her ass.
Yo, and that was a $2,000 purse she had. This woman voted no for $15 an hour minimum wage. We're going to get back to Georgia, but this woman voted no for a $15 an hour minimum wage with a $2,100 purse. You can get Louis for $1,400. It wasn't even a Louis. It was like some other shit. And meanwhile, other white people in the state of Georgia are voting to restrict our right, like, to vote here in the state. And it's almost like these same motherfuckers will use Martin Luther King in a speech here in the state of Georgia. They will all invoke King.
Well, not the real Martin Luther King. They use the McDonald's version of Martin Luther King.
Ain't no McDonald's version of Martin Luther King when it comes down to voting.
Marcus, don't tell them that. Their buns got sesame seeds. Ours are plain. It's McDowell's, motherfucker. Don't tell them that. Shit.
Our toppings are at the bottom.
Our toppings at the bottom. The McFlurby, motherfucker.
It's the McFlurby. Oh, Mondo, we have like a whole generation of, we have a whole new talking point section here.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Hey, you see.
Hey, if our sister Leslie Jones was talking to Cinnamon, you know what she would have said to her?
What?
Uppity bitch say what?
What?
Uppity bitch say what? She said, what? Man, that movie was dope, man. Jeez.
Dog, but Kirsten Cinnamon do need a McFlurby. Kirsten Cinnamon needs to actually hang out with the citizens of Zamunda.
That's absolutely disgusting.
And we bring this back up for the second night straight because this is the same human being that has the power to vote on HR 1. Yeah, her. And it's obvious to me that she's gonna be willing to put politics. Oh man, you know what though? I think she's the ops, bro. On some real shit, I think she's the ops. I'm starting to think that she plans on bringing the Republican Party back for white people. Like, and not all white people, just the white people that are confused by all this intersectionality.
She's not working by herself, right? I mean, like, so they're no longer Republicans. There's two types of Republicans. The few, right? The few, and I hate to say this, Dick Cheney's wife is part of the few now. And then the rest of those motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? The rest of those motherfuckers are still kissing Donald Trump's ring as Donald Trump is trying to strip them. And I think Cinema she's working right with Donald Trump as it pertains to what this party will look like. Donald Trump, we saw him today or yesterday issue a motherfucking cease and desist from the Republican Party. This guy did not create he is so fucking swifty with the grifting. Marcus, this is what he did. He said, fuck creating another party. I'm just going to steal this party. He sent them a cease and desist saying, do not use my name for any of your auxiliaries, any of your emails, none of my likeness. You can't use my pictures or anything. But then the next day he sent an email saying, no more giving money to rhinos, Republicans in name only. If we want to win and protect real Republicans, send the money to my PAC, his personal PAC. Now, people that don't understand personal PACs allow for you to give yourself, your family member, anybody personal shit. There's no rules around what you can do with leadership PACs. So Donald Trump, smart enough to create a leadership PAC before he left office and made hundreds of millions of dollars. Also, keep in mind, y'all, this is a man who has $100 million worth of bills that are about to come fucking due, which means he personally guaranteed this debt. And if he don't pay the bills, which we know he won't because, well, that's his fucking history, he's personally responsible for it. But now he got a whole new motherfucking way to raise that money to pay all his bills. He gonna use these dumbass Republican voters to keep raising money. And they're gonna keep sending it to him.
Donald Trump is smart enough to also understand that the American criminal justice system won't put him in jail. Therefore, the only thing he has to worry about is finances. because you're gonna have to. He's gonna have to pay some kind of financial restitution for some of the shit he did, no matter what.
Oh, he's going to jail.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
but
he might go to probation or something. But
what kind of jail, Mondale? Are we talking about jail? Or are we talking about a year and a half jail? Like you know?
No, we talking about
jail.
No, we talking about like probation in Mar-a-Lago.
That ain't jail. That's a golf course.
It's a fucking golf course. They're
Bro,
gonna say he can only play golf.
Is like
he can only play golf on Fridays.
The American government. I mean, if you think that they had a hard time giving us $15 an hour minimum wage and even passing the stimulus check, you think they're gonna put a former president in jail? Donald Trump ain't going to jail.
That black sister in New York is not.
That's the reason why. If it was a white man, he probably would go to jail. But it's a sister doing the prosecution.
She's a Hulk. She's gonna get his ass.
I know she's a Hulk. She's more
than a million pages. Monster. She got her team going through more than a million pages of tax documents. And you know Donald Trump. Michael Cohen already told you he lied on all his tax documents. So all she's looking for inconsistencies, and she's gonna charge his ass with every inconsistency that he ever filed. And there are gonna be a ton of them. And he's not gonna walk away from all those charges, I promise you. Lock his ass up. He's gonna be the first ex-president in prison.
Bro, you with this optimism shit. I love you. You know you my goddamn brother. But you too goddamn optimistic sometimes, man. You don't. And I like your optimism because you be bringing me along for the ride sometimes. I ain't falling for that shit this time.
Get on this train. No. Get on that goddamn train. Get on that train. Marcus, hold on. It's 9:24, man. Commercial break. Tell them where to find you at.
Marcus for America on Instagram and Twitter. Marcus Farrell on Facebook. MarcusFarrell.com. And also, please follow us on Patreon, Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap. Patreon /Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap. And, you know, rock and roll. You are now rocking with the best. How do they find you, my brother Mondale?
Well, before they find me, I need them to like and subscribe on YouTube, retweet on Twitter, and share this shit on Facebook. So if you are watching
our likes aren't our likes on this video are not high enough.
It's our job to fuck up the algorithm. So what are y'all waiting on? If we are to spread this noise, this politically incorrect but absolutely accurate noise to more people, it's our job to do that. And our job, not me and Marcus, it's all of our job. The people that are members of the Trap Squad, share this shit right now. If you're on, like I said, if you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. And you can find me at Mondale Robinson on Patreon. Yay. And Mondale Robinson on all social media platforms. Go ahead.
Before we go on infinite content, first off, I'm sorry that you decided not to run for office. I meant to tell you that. We like you running for office. You need to rethink that. We need people from the Trap Squad to run for office. So please think about that. We
absolutely do.
Secondly, thank you for reminding me that, yes, I'm Old Man Politic on Twitch. Please go over to Twitch and like me. If you have a Twitch account, you happen to be watching this, just go over to Old Man Politic and rock with us real quick. That will be the name. I'm on Twitch, but I swear to God, I logged in once. Hey, well, I mean, you know, you need to log in again. First off, you know, we could play like I got this extra game system over here, man. I'm gonna give you. I like that you caught yourself and you said we can play. You was like, oh, that nigga don't play no games. I know. Hey, break time, man. Break time.
Trap Squad, 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 Trap Squad. Hey, Clickbaity Political, yeah. Thirst Trap, Trap Squad, Squirrel Squad. Our mission is critical to speak the truth to the masses. Yeah. We here for the fight. We ain't started, but we here to finish it. Sick and tired of seeing the privilege, take advantage of the weak and the innocent. So we let a voice be heard every single weeknight. Unapologetic. Yeah. Black people, despite this white supremacist system that we live through on a daily, we still throwing up those acorns cause we represent clickbaity. Yeah. Trap Squad, Trap Squad, Trap Squad. Let me hear ya. Trap Squad, Trap Squad. Throw those squirrels up if you with it. Trap Squad, Trap Squad. Yeah, I see you. Yeah, I see you. Trap Squad, Trap Squad. Clickbaity ThirstTrap. Trap squad. Trap squad. Trap squad. Let me hear ya. Trap squad. Trap squad. All those squirrels look if you with it. Trap squad. Trap squad. Yeah, I see you. Yeah, I see you. Trap squad. Trap squad. Clickbaity ThirstTrap. Trap squad. Trap squad. Trap squad. Trap squad.
Trap Squad. I know y'all love that song. Shout out to Dante Make Beats for making that. That song is not just for the show, it's for all of y'all. So everybody should take pride in that song because it's a beautiful song, one. And two, that shit sounds just like some shit that we spitting on the show. It's critical. Yeah. Our mission is critical. It's our job. Marcus and I, last year when we started this podcast, our mission was to bring Black men's perspective to politics in a way that was not MSNBC, was not CNN. You cannot get white people's perspective over here unless it's somebody like our sister Noam. So if it ain't that shit, you can't be Mandela for president. I am a fucking crazy person. Trust me. So I hear y'all telling me to run for president. That shit will never happen because America would kill me immediately on TV with 3 CIA guns and 4 FBI bats. It's not going to happen. My mom and daddy need me.
Yo, listen, Mondale will give reparations to everybody. Like, first priority,
God, man.
Yeah, fuck the deficit. Reparations.
What deficit?
And also free schooling for Black people.
You know what? I would literally, Marcus, I would fucking literally, if I was, and this is some real iffy shit. If I was president, I would literally go down on 14th, load up them goddamn trucks with all the money paper and pass money printers out on every reservation in every Black community and tell motherfuckers to print what they need. Fuck it.
Well, you just beat Kirsten Sinema in Arizona right there. You just see. Wait a minute. Is that a campaign promise? Do you promise to do that as President Robinson?
Scouts on him, boy. Call me Tricky Dicky.
See, yeah, everybody want me to run for office. I don't know why I don't ever be trying Mondale like that. Mondale get away with just being this little organizer guy, and I gotta run for office. No, why don't you put that guy in office real quick?
Hell no, because they know if I was in office, they would be. Man, can you imagine me in Congress cussing out people? Motherfuckers trying to talk, Marcus, I'm talking over them. They're like, kill his mic. I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna take their mic. Marcus, I'm gonna take their mic. I'll be on the Republican side of the house trolling motherfuckers. Side of the house.
Capitol Police.
I want my yeah, right. Just in, that nigga's arrested again.
He looks like he has a swat. No, it's not a swastika patch. That's a Zamunda patch. I'm showing up to congressional meetings in swimming trunks and boots with button-up shirts and shit. They like, this nigga. Talk about, this is a suit.
This is a suit.
This is a suit. I think there's nothing. First off, let's talk about that for a second. Like, I used to go around judging people for how they dressed. I did. And then I realized that the people who did the most damage to us as a society wear suits every day. Why are we going out of our way to be like people in suits?
Say that, brother. Say that. It's about that respectability politics. It's respectability politics in clothing form. If you think about it, when people tell me I'm not in business attire, I'm like, listen, the richest Black man I know is Jay-Z, and that motherfucker dressed like this every day.
Right.
This is business attire for Black men. If you think about the most lucrative businessmen in our community right now, it's drug dealers. I ain't never seen a drug dealer walking around in no goddamn blue suit. That shit say that shit for Wall Street.
Right.
I need to look like my community so they know where I belong. And that ain't no knock at Cory Booker, but it is.
I mean, look, the more uniformity, the more dangerous it is for brown people. Right? They all wear suits in DC. They all wear uniforms in the streets. The only people in uniforms that I might trust is firemen. And if you go to Chicago, you still got to be careful because some of the firemen would be like, I'm not coming to that neighborhood.
Well, I mean, shit, the history of the fire departments in North Carolina or in the South in general was they would let your shit burn the fuck down after they set that bitch on fire.
That's
I
right.
mean, if we're being honest. If we're being honest.
So we have to go out. So we have to go out of our way to make sure that we are following the right people, right? You mentioned Cori Bush.
No, I didn't.
You know what I
want
to bring up real quick? Cori Bush does not talk like a white woman.
He does not.
And I absolutely love it. And Cori Bush not talking like a white woman pisses off Republican men at the highest of extents. I don't think I've ever heard Cori Bush talk without white men in Congress booing her.
Listen, can I say something? This sister has to go to office. Cori Bush is a congresswoman, elected official. All of them supposed to know that shit. She went to Congress her first day there. White people in that building was calling her a dead black woman's name. They kept calling her Breonna Taylor. That sister looks nothing like Breonna Taylor.
Wait, what?
And Breonna Taylor is dead. Yo, when Cori Bush first got to Washington, she had to tell motherfuckers, I'm not Breonna Taylor. White motherfuckers kept calling her Breonna Taylor. That is a dead person. This is how tone deaf these people are to the plight and the pain and the suffering of black people in this country. They literally was calling her a dead woman who didn't die in the 50s or the 60s. She died the year this sister was elected. That is the height of disrespect on so many levels. And it also shows you what they're up against in that fucking house.
Yo,
they call her Breonna Taylor.
Yo, some real shit. You be pointing out the obvious, and the obvious just be so normalized to me that I forget to bring it up.
Right.
But thank you for doing
that too. Yeah, but that too is a trap in the white supremacy, right?
It is. They got me. They got me.
Not just you, all of us. Think about it, Marcus. We are bombarded with the death of black people so much. Motherfuckers will share it with you in your DM, another cop killing a black person, and you scroll past it like it was a sister in a bathing suit or something.
Right. Right.
That's how numb we are to the reality that somebody lost a son, a daughter, a non-gender conforming family member, death by cop, bro, in this country. And we act as if the correct conversation is, well, what they do, or not all cops are bad. We're not talking about all cops. We're talking about the institution of policing, and not just the institution of policing at large. The institution of policing black bodies in this country is flawed, and not just in the 21st century. It's been flawed since the creation, since the first police force formed in the 1700s in North Carolina, my home state. They were used to be slave catchers. I said this on the show before. Slave catchers in North Carolina became the first organized police department in this country. And the term police, to protect and serve, did not come from a fucking government entity. It came from what their job was. Their job was to protect rich people who could afford police and their businesses from people looting and taking stuff from their businesses. So the police, the protect and serve that you see on cop cars initially had nothing to do with communities. It had everything to do with rich people's wealth, their buildings, their assets. And if you look at the way the institution is still run today, it is absolutely that. What their brothers say, the cop that killed himself in New Orleans, right before he killed himself, I can no longer sit quiet and act as if policing in this country is the solution. Policing in this country is the problem. And that's a direct result. People forget, people say Black Panthers, brother, and don't say Black Panthers Party for Self-Defense. Self-defense against who? The Black Panthers formed out of cops beating black men up at routine stops. So they said, we're going to stop this shit right now. We're going to form this party, and we're going to protect people from being beat in the streets.
Come on now, Mondale. Come on now.
So this individual shit is muddying our conversation when we should be talking about the institutions in this country, and how they're tied to whiteness and the death that's associated with it. Politically, when cinema refuses to fucking give people $15 an hour, that is a form of death. It is not physical death, but it's economic death. And for someone to have to work 2 and 3 jobs with no dignity, that is absolutely a fucking form of death. There's educational death when we don't fully fund our public schools, but we send money to these private charters that we know were created once again as white institutions, a way to defund public schools when schools were desegregated, right? I'm not out here motherfucking exaggerating. I'm saying we have a problem with white institutions in this country, bro.
I mean, listen, we don't know how we are all connected and how the plight of the least of us affects all of us. One thing that I always do is when Native brothers and sisters, when indigenous Americans talk to me, I really do shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm a Black American, but when indigenous communities, like I've spoken to them, I've ran statewide campaigns in Arizona, so I had to speak to a lot of indigenous communities, and when they were talking to me, I had to shut up, like, and because I had an organic understanding of this. First, they came for the indigenous people. Then they brought the Black people, and you were silent. Then they came for the indigenous and Black people, and you were silent. Then they brought other white people over here and treated them like they were less than, and you were silent. Then they treated those same white folks like white folks finally and brought over Asians, and then they were nasty to them and you were silent. Then they got good to them and you were silent. Then they gave everybody else reparations and you were silent. And then indigenous and Black people and Latinx folks who just want a better life for themselves came over here and you were silent. But now, right now, magically, now when they're coming for you, when they say you can't have $15 an hour, they're coming for you, white people. When they don't want to pass a COVID relief bill, they're coming for you, white people.
Right.
And they still want you to otherize everybody else.
Right.
They still want you to believe that you are better.
Your whiteness makes you superior, right? That's what they want us to believe. Listen, Marcus, I'm glad you said that when indigenous folks are talking, we shut the fuck up. And that's because that plight is something different, brother. They wiped out 80 to 90% of that entire race of people. When white Americans, let me say that again. When white America came to the United States, these United States, they wiped out 90% of the people who are indigenous to this land. Think about that. Count your family members, count 10 of your family members, and imagine life with 9 of them being dead for being nothing other than Black or brown.
Alone. Imagine no mama, no brother, no cousin, no sister, no nothing, alone.
All of that.
Imagine that.
All of that. All of that.
And yet they thrive. The one amazing thing about white supremacy is it's lazy, yo. They don't, and I shouldn't even say this live. So I won't, I am going to say it. White supremacy never finishes the job. White supremacy just makes it hard. Now, in Germany, their white supremacy tried to finish the job. They tried to finish the job in Germany. Hitler tried to finish the job. Hitler tried to take everybody out.
And the thing about it is, their white supremacy in Germany, Hitler said this the other week. Hitler used what? Motherfucking the treatment of Black people in the South in the United States as an excuse for how he was treating the Jewish people in Germany, right?
That's right.
During the Holocaust, Hitler said, well, at least we don't treat them like America treats its Black people in the South.
And guess who took notice of that? The communists in Russia. The communists in Russia remember that Hitler said that. And therefore, and no, this is not me being a Russian bot. I'm talking about the 60s and the Soviets in the 60s. And you go look up COINTELPRO and realize that I'm not lying. But it was the communists that had more love for Black people in the 60s than the white American government.
They were arming our revolution, right? It was Fidel Castro. It was the brothers and sisters in Africa. It was Mao. It was the Chinese folk. But
Mondale, man, you know what? The same argument we made about Obama last night. I mean, over time, it's the same thing I'm saying about this right here. Yo, listen, what I'm gonna say.
Nope, you owed us $100. You said that motherfucker's name.
I did. Fuck that.
I intentionally didn't say his name.
Yeah, you're right. I do. Let me finish my point. The American government right now is educated enough to know what it has done. And if you think it doesn't have the skill set to fix atrocities of the Black, brown, indigenous communities, They have the smartest people on earth. Hell, we have self-driving cars, and they had to turn down patents to publicly sell flying cars already, like 100 times, right? We could have had flying cars 20 years ago. It's the same American government that spends billions of dollars on the war machine. They could fix racism if they wanted to. They've looked at other countries if they wanted to, right. But we got to understand something. We're rocking with a country right now that doesn't want to organically do it. The shit. Black and Latin spending outside of their communities is the highest that it's ever been right now, today. The amount of times that a dollar goes around the Black, Latin, and indigenous community is the smallest amount right now. Black economics, Latin economics, indigenous economics is not something that can be taught. We have to teach ourselves.
This is why I said when we value, and Marcus, this is let me interject this because you said something that's powerful as fuck. The educating of ourselves, teaching of ourselves is not valued in Western society, right? But the idea that we know anything about economics as a community comes to the point that Cornel West tenureship is not rely. We don't need to rely on Harvard for him to be tenured, because the brother's work itself speaks volumes for what he says about oppressed people, chronically oppressed people across this country. And to understand and live in that space and still survive daily, like you said, resilient. The fact that we are resilient and we thrive is a testament to our education of life. And that shit is PhD level. That shit is that's a terminal degree to be able to survive America as a Black man.
Well, Dr. West is tenured in the Black community, so fuck Harvard.
Absolutely, he is.
Right?
Absolutely, he is.
Who else is tenured in the Black? Who else is tenured in the Black community that won't ever get props for? H. Rap Brown, he's tenured in the Black community. Fuck it. George Clinton, he's tenured in the Black community. Maya Angelou, tenured in the Black community.
He said George Clinton, not Bill Clinton.
Oh, I said.
You said George. You said George.
Yeah, I said George. Right.
You said George. You said George. I just want to make sure them motherfuckers don't nobody type Bill Clinton.
Yeah. I mean, they're like, there's people who are tenured within our community that if it was a Black centered, or even not even Black centered, just an equally centered history that we taught in this country, we would look at heroes in completely different ways. There should be white kids all across the country who are studying mechanics that are doing thesis on Benjamin Banneker. There should be, you know,
it was a Black woman that sent this country to the moon. The only time this country has been to the moon, it was because of the mathematician that was a Black woman. How many fucking white people are writing theses on her? How many people are talking about that sister? Everybody talk about the motherfucker that put the flag on the moon. All he did was take a free ride.
Right. So now we're dealing with a society that has got it. I will say this. This is kind of like, I'm going meta for a second. Now we're dealing with a society that would much rather, a government that will much rather not give us what we need for the basics to just go to the grocery store and eat. And it's already scientifically proven that a stressed human being is an unproductive human being.
Right.
And America managed to stress all of us out. America has managed to stress all of us out by just not giving us a basic living wage. And we know for a fact that a basic living wage, universal income, universal wages, literally are possible because of the amount of money that goes into the American war machine. And let me tell you something about the American war machine. The American war machine is famous at advertising the bad guys. When was the last time you heard of a bad guy advertisement in the world? America, you got it. You won. Nobody else is really trying to mess with us. Y'all already signed up all the terrorists from the Middle East. Y'all been working with them since before the Iraq War.
Shit, that wasn't the start. America recruited the Nazis from Germany.
bro, and gave them asylum in South America.
And some here.
Listen,
Shit, if you go to Huntsville, which is a lot of people don't know this, when we say Houston, there's a problem. If Houston ever goes down, the second place, Rocket City, is actually Huntsville, Alabama, which has more science-based, more science-based PhDs than anywhere else in this country per capita. And the center there is named after a Nazi. It's a motherfucking fact. They brought him over as a scientist.
All right, no more meta for us. Dwayne, do you have the top 10 movies list of all time? Let's rock.
We'll go with 2016. We'll just let the people know. Ain't like nobody outworked Samuel Jackson and fucking since 2016 any goddamn way.
Well, since 2016, no. Actually, I think Sam's time was like 2010 to 2014, and then he kind of slowed down a little bit.
Shit, that motherfucker can slow down. That's
all I know is who put these snakes on his motherfucking plane.
What's the list? Let's go, Dwayne.
Well, I mean, listen. First, wait. So early shots. Who do you think? Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt been in a lot of movies.
Nope, I don't think he's in the top 10.
He's not in the top 10.
I'm gonna tell you, I think. Yeah, we'll take movie and TV shows.
Yeah, movies and TV shows would be a good one. But then we start adding on a lot of people. No, I kind of want movies. We can go TV shows. Yeah. Mondale, give me one. First off, do you even watch movies, bro?
Yeah, I love movies. I'm telling you. That's how I know Morgan Freeman's probably been in more movies than anybody. Can they hear you, Dwayne? Can the audience hear you? Turn your mic on so the audience can hear you.
All right, people. This list is from 2014, and it's only movies. Drum roll, please.
Oh, Susan. Yes. First off, that's that woman right there, Susan Sarandon. Yo, you are a G. You are a progressive.
She's number 1 and number 10. Hold on. She's
number 11. I don't give a damn. She's still a goddamn G. Susan Sarandon is a damn G. And don't let anybody else fool you or tell you anything else. Whatever the hell she's in, I'm going to support it because Susan Sarandon is that boss.
Of course.
Oh, Anthony Hopkins.
Of course. This nigga's been acting since the 20s.
Yeah. Yo, is he still alive? I think he is.
Damn.
That guy.
Robert Downey.
Robert Duvall. No. Robert Duvall.
Not Downey.
At number 9, Robert Duvall. Apocalypse Now, Deep Impact.
No, your boy.
And Sam. You got Sam. Samuel Jackson, 158 acting credits, and this was about 6 years ago. Yeah, you can't really beat Samuel. Danny Glover.
Another motherfucker's been old forever.
He's been old forever, but he's a G though. Like, 2 progressives are like the oldest on this list right here, man. Like, that's dope, man. You know what I mean? Danny Glover.
Oh yeah, this
Michael Caine.
Yeah,
Michael Caine was in Batman. I don't even think he was in Batman when this thing came out.
Yeah,
Michael Caine, nice.
This was before Batman.
This is before Batman, so he even has the new Batman. Donald Sutherland. Okay.
Yeah. Is this Kiefer Sutherland's father?
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't tell. Look at his face. He looked like he about to say, I have 24 hours to save some shit. Louis Degossa Jr. Bad.
Yeah, he was in Officer and a Gentleman. I love that movie.
That's right. I mean, he was in like almost everything.
Look at this movie.
James Earl Jones. Right, James Earl Jones. First off, y'all know what movie he was just in.
Hey, CNN, the worldwide leader in news. Motherfucker.
He was just in Harlem Nights, the second. And this guy, I've seen him before. His name is Robert.
To America.
He was in. This guy was in Coming to America.
No, James Earl Jones. Where you said Harlem Nights.
Oh yeah, I said Harlem Nights. He wasn't in Harlem Nights. He was in Coming to America. So Robert, that guy was in a lot of movies. Wow, he was in Star Wars.
I don't know that guy.
He was in Lord of the Rings, Star Wars. Yeah, he was the bad guy in Star Wars. He played some character in Star Wars that had the cool ass lightsabers. Christopher Lee, 280 acting credits. Yeah, so I mean, you know, They put black people in a lot of movies. They just don't pay us enough.
So I got to tell y'all something. I was in a movie before, Marcus.
You told me this before, but go ahead. I want to hear it.
I was an extra in Three Kings. It was not shot in the desert, as people believe. Oh, it wasn't shot in the desert of Iraq. It was actually shot in Arizona when I was in the military. I was in Yuma, Arizona, and they came there and recruited extras from the military base, and the Marine Corps gave us a few days off to shoot.
You ain't gotta lie, Mondale. You could say you was Jamie Foxx stunt double. It's all good.
Nah, you said Jamie Foxx stunt double. That's crazy. That's crazy. So what I'm gonna say right now is, Dwayne, you square shaped head motherfucker.
Mondale, that was your hand. That was your hand in the Ray Charles.
Nah, bro, I didn't.
That was your hand in the Ray Charles.
They cut my walking screen out. Look, I had a little walk off the camera. Shit,
hey, Mondale was a foot. Mondale was a foot and hand actor. Hey, his shit is always clean. He's a foot and hand. You see it if you ever see a dark skinned foot, a beautifully manicured dark skin.
Check and see if it was Mondale's toes. Might have been my toes.
Yo, you're rocking with the best. Thank you for watching Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap, man. Please like, share, and subscribe. We are trying to grow this audience, try to grow our base. We appreciate the Trap Squad. We appreciate the Squirrel Gang. You guys have been rocking with us through thick and thin. From when we had only 6 people watching us to, a couple hundred, even a couple thousand at points, right? So make sure you keep doing that, man. And you know what? Unlike what was said to us before, keep hitting us on Twitter and, let us know what you think. Let us know what you feel. You know what I'm talking about? Because as far as I'm concerned, without the Trap Squad, we're not really rocking with nothing.
And also, I want to say before we get off the air, y'all, we do this shit. Yes, because we love politics, but we also do it because we feel like when I see you all engaging with other people online, and I am a stalker of the Squirrel Gang. When I see y'all engaging, y'all are always spitting facts that are changing the nature of conversations. Even when you just tag us in it, just know that we see it, even if we don't have time to like it throughout the day. We appreciate that. Also, I want to say, if you are a Patreon follower of mine, don't forget, next week, the 17th, we have our book club meeting for Pedagogy of the Press. It will be on Zoom. This will not be an easy book club. A lot of shit will be called to question and to task. So be prepared, because I will call your ass out if you show up not prepared. Thank y'all for walking with us again. It has been another wonderful fucking evening. Don't forget, tomorrow is Thursday. It is a replay. Thursday, we have something funny to show y'all with before. Oh,
tomorrow's Wednesday, boss man. No, you gotta come back.
Damn, I gotta come back.
You gotta show up.
I gotta come back again.
Since we got damn, I gotta come back to work. And we was talking about lyricists. Since we was talking about lyricists earlier today, I'm gonna play this video for y'all that I was gonna play yesterday.
Oh yeah, come on, bring it.
You got 2 videos to play. I want to see the funny shit that you and Marcus was laughing at in the production.
You already laughed at it.
That was the Whoopi Goldberg. You saw that already.
Oh yeah, that was perfect. Oh, yeah,
here we go.
Captain Crunch and Fruit Loops told Frosted Flakes Tony the Tiger took Cheerios out on a date. Had her up in the crib when she wasn't home. Even did her hair in the bathroom, used his honeycomb. What did you expect? He's a ladies' man. Even started his own company. He be raising brands. Wheaties made a diss record with a funny song. Stuck him up at the dice game. They took his lucky charm. Grabbed him by his book bag, he wore it on his back. Man, they even took his computer, he got his Applejack. He called Fruity Pebbles to get his money back. Even put hands on his lady, they got his honey smack. She came through all fly, brand new kicks. Heard she be prostituting, yeah, she be turning tricks. Kept their ear to the streets, the Crips heard what happened. If you listen closely, Rice Krispies got it cracking. Mini Wheats got hype, she said, I know his man, and that nigga be selling weight. He got golden grams. Oatmeal said, I keep the heat around me. Cornflakes responded, ain't nothing sweet about me. Cocoa Puffs gave word that they was on the block. Soon as Crunch, Captain Crunch and Fruit.
Yo.
Hey, first off, that nigga better be eating from now until next year.
I bet you. Better. I was thinking that nigga wasted a lot of money on that rap song. He should have spent that money on promotion.
You know what I'm talking about? Hey, guess what? Hey, come on,
y'all,
baby. I got some.
We love y'all. Let's go, Dwayne.
Yeah, peace out, y'all.
Outro. We love y'all. Peace.
Trap squad, 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 trap squad. Hey, Clickbaity Political, yeah. Thirst Trap, Trap Squad, Squirrel Squad. Our mission is critical to speak the truth to the masses. Yeah. We here for the fight. We ain't started, but we here to finish it. Sick and tired of seeing the privilege, take advantage of the weak and the innocent. So we let our voice be heard every single weeknight. Unapologetic. Yeah. Black people, despite this white supremacist system that we live through on a daily, we still throwing up those acorns cause we represent clickbaity. Yeah. Trap squad, trap squad, trap squad. Let me hear ya. Trap squad, trap squad. Throw those squirrels up if you with it. Trap squad, trap squad. Yeah, I see you, yeah, I see you. Trap squad, trap squad, trap squad.